It is the biggest card of the past 6 years, and this is one of the men behind putting it on. He's the CEO of Golden Boy Promotions. Richard Schaefer joins us. Richard, how are you doing?
Very well. Thank you for having me.
Well, Golden Boy has put on a string of terrific cards on Showtime this year, and now you're putting on one of the biggest events of all time. Would you say this is the biggest year in the history of the company?
Oh, without question, it's the biggest year for Golden Boy. What we've put together, the quality of fights we've put together this year is, I think, unheard of. But I don't think it's really just unheard of for Golden Boy. I think it's unheard of for the sport. I mean, you haven't really seen any tune-ups, nothing. It was throughout the year the best fighting the best, and that's no exception here on Saturday night.
And we're seeing some numbers come out that are absolutely unheard of as well. Earlier today, it was announced that this is going to break the all-time gate record. You've been talking about some of the merchandising sales and whatnot. But the big number that everyone cares about, Richard, is the pay-per-view numbers. What is your prediction for the number of pay-per-view sales domestically?
Well, I mean, on the gate, you're right. We were able to break the $20 million mark, which is a remarkable number. If you think about back in 2007, when we did the Hoya Mayweather fight, we had a little bit less than $18.5 million in gate receipts from live ticket sales. But that was at a time when money was the cheapest commodity. That was at a time when money was flowing freely. But here now, we are just coming out of one of the worst recession or depressions we've seen. And to be able to put that number together, $20 million, I think is absolutely remarkable. And it tells you a lot about the strength of the sport of boxing. So now you look at the other record, you look at the pay-per-view record, that's what you were referring to. 2007 again, during that economic boom period, we broke a record which a lot of people said will never be broken, which was Tyson against Holyfield and Tyson against Lewis. Both of them did a little shy of 2 million, I think 1,980,000 and 1,990,000. So everybody always told me that record will never be broken. Well, in 2007 we broke it, and we did. It's a little bit more than 2.5 million now. I think it's 2,520,000 homes, generating about $136 million in pay-per-view receipts. And so you have those two records. Back then, the pay-per-view price was priced. The pay-per-view was priced at $54.95 and $64.95. This pay-per-view here is priced at $64.95 and $74.95. So it's about a 20% higher price. So in other words, in order to of course break the number of buys, you need to do more than 2,520,000 homes, which I am not yet prepared to say that record will be broken. It could, but I'm not yet prepared to say that. But I am prepared to say today, based on those early indications we are getting, which are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. I mean, it is absolutely amazing that the gross number will be broken, that this will be the single biggest grossing boxing event of all time.
And part of the reason you're able to do those astronomical numbers is because you guys have been able to work hand in hand with Floyd Mayweather. Now, the rivalry between Oscar and Floyd seems to still be there a little bit, but what is your working relationship like with Floyd and with Leonard Ellerbe?
Oh, my working relationship with Floyd is great. You know, we have a great personal relationship as well. My kids love to hang out with his kids, and it's a friendship we have. And you know, we started working back in 2007 with Floyd, and we don't have any contract. There's no contract, and yet I have to tell you that Floyd Mayweather is the single most loyal fighter I have ever met. I think loyalty, beside all his talents and many other attributes he has, I think loyalty is right up there with him. So we have a great relationship, and I think, you know, I mean, the results obviously speak for themselves. We helped him to become the highest paid athlete in the world, irrespective of sport. So you know, we've been doing something right as well. We work very well with Floyd's company, with Mayweather Promotions. There's no egos involved and so on. I believe that Golden Boy has the best pay-per-view machinery in place of any promoter. We have a staff now of about 35 people. We have from our capabilities to work with the sponsors, integrate the sponsors, and carry the message out there that there is a big pay-per-view is unlike any other promoter in the sport today. And I think that's the reason why a relatively new company compared to some of the other promoters have been able to break the pay-per-view record back in 2007, and now it was not another promoter, it's Golden Boy and Mayweather Promotions we're going to break our own record. And so obviously Floyd knows that we are doing something right, and we're having fun doing it.
The cloud kind of hanging overhead of the promotion this week is, of course, Oscar De La Hoya entering rehab this week. And apparently you were the one who helped send him to rehab. Can you talk about how that came about, and was there any way of predicting that that was going to happen?
Well, I know there was no way to predict that, and when I got the call on Monday afternoon, actually I just arrived in Las Vegas, when I got the call from Oscar, he sounded absolutely terrible, and he told me that he needs to go to rehab, and that it can't go on like that, and it sounded very serious. I was very concerned for my friend, and I recommended to him immediately, and he was ready to go. He said he wants to go to rehab. And so we set the wheels in motion. There was no hesitation on my side. Some people felt, within the camp that maybe he should go on Monday, but there was no hesitation on my side. This is not like, hey, you know what, why don't you come to Vegas and help promote the fight, and then you can go to rehab on Monday. I mean, it doesn't work like that. There's nothing more important than the well-being of anyone, and especially somebody who I have been close to for so long. So I think I'm very happy that he took the initiative, that he realized that he needed help. And believe me, it was not an easy decision for him, because Oscar is very competitive. He's very close with Canelo Alvarez, and there is nothing in the world, Oscar would rather be than right here, frankly, in that chair, talking to the media, doing the press conferences. He loves to do that. So for him, can you just imagine, for him to make that decision, to call me and tell me I need help, I need to go to rehab on a Monday of fight week, I think that should tell anyone what kind of condition and Oscar De La Hoya was in. So he's in rehab now, and I don't even know if he's going to have a chance to watch the fight. I have no idea, but I certainly wish him well, and I know all of us wish him well. And he needs to focus on what's most important, and that's his health and his family. And on a side note, to be part of the boxing circus, if you want, traveling from Texas to New York to Las Vegas and many other places in between. We did about 103 boxing events televised. Of course, he didn't attend all of them, but he was at many of them. And the influences you get being on the road, be it with alcohol or with drugs or with women, is certainly not a very conductive environment for somebody who is battling this disease. So my recommendation as a friend to Oscar is take care of yourself, my friend.
Absolutely. Well, we all hope and pray for his speedy recovery. But let's talk about some positive things then moving forward, Richard. After this fight and looking into the future, who is Golden Boy pegging as your future pay-per-view star? Is it going to be Canelo? Is it going to be a guy like Adrian Broner, perhaps?
Well, I think Canelo has a tremendous potential because of the reach, his personality he has, the Mexican market. Win or lose, I think it certainly elevates any fighter to be on that kind of stage. You look at Juan Manuel Marquez. Juan Manuel Marquez came to us. We gave him some big fights. We got him the Mayweather fight, and people started to realize who Juan Manuel Marquez is. And even though he lost pretty much every second of every round in that fight, Juan Manuel Marquez was bigger than he ever was. The same can be said for Victor Ortiz, who went on to be on Dancing with the Stars, and now he's filming a movie with Sylvester Stallone, and you know, the list goes on and on. Even Robert Guerrero. So a lot of those fighters, they are elevated from a reach point of view to a totally different level once they fight Floyd Mayweather and are exposed on that kind of stage. So I think Canelo Alvarez is going to be definitely a pay-per-view star going forward, irrespective of what happens this weekend. I think Adrian Broner is another interesting prospect to become a pay-per-view star. He, you know, he is in his personality. He has a tremendous amount of charisma, and sometimes, you know, I think takes it a bit too far to the point where it can be appealing to people. But if you remember the early Floyd Mayweather was outrageous, and a lot of people hated him, were disgusted by it, couldn't wait to see him lose, were buying the pay-per-views because they wanted to see him lose. And I think Adrian Broner is evoking those same kind of reactions. And there are very few fighters, I mean, there's a handful of fighters who can evoke emotions in people. And if you want to become a pay-per-view star, you need to be exactly doing that. You need to have a personality, you need to have charisma, you need to evoke emotions in people. That's how you become a pay-per-view star. Otherwise, you know, you look at the Juan Manuel Marquez, who never really became a pay-per-view star. You look at the Sergio Martinez, a terrific fighter. I mean, terrific fighter. I'm a big fan of his, but the personality, and so I think you have to be that total package, and Adrian Broner certainly is that total package. And so we'll see, and there are many other young fighters waiting in the wing, waiting to assume eventually the throne, which Mayweather will vacate as the pay-per-view king, and we'll see what's going to happen. I remember when Oscar de la Hoya announced his retirement, I got a call from Mark Taffet, the head of the pay-per-view arm for HBO, and he was telling me, Richard, it's going to be a long time before we are going to see somebody do 7-figure pay-per-views. And who would have thought that it was not only one, but it was two fighters, a little man from the Philippines who was used to be fighting at 112 pounds, becoming a pay-per-view star, and of course Floyd Mayweather becoming a pay-per-view star, and in the process creating a pay-per-view era which is maybe the best there ever was. And we see that Saturday night. You know, I think pay-per-view is healthier than ever, and my prediction is that when Floyd Mayweather will be hanging up the gloves, that there will be somebody else will be coming and will be taking advantage of the new technologies, whatever there will be, and taking pay-per-view to yet a totally different level.
Last question, Richard. We're based in Toronto, so I have to slide in some Canadian content here. It was kind of leaked out yesterday that Golden Boy has signed a Canadian, Diri Jean, the light welterweight contender. Can you tell us about that signing and what the reasoning was behind it?
Well, we always look at attractive talent. We like big punchers. You know, we like guys who know how to entertain. I was just talking about Adrian Broner and the total package, and so you know, irrespective from where they come from, that's what fight fans want to see. And Thierry Jean is absolutely one of those fighters which fits right into that category. He's the mandatory for Lamont Peterson, so we had reached out to his promoter in Canada, and we were able to structure a deal. So we're very proud that Thierry Jean is now part of the Golden Boy family.
Well, Richard, we're looking forward to the one this Saturday. Enjoy the fight, and best of luck in breaking all the records this weekend.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care.